You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 66 of Frontline Fatalities, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, Tommy, and as always, FatalSaint. What's up, man?
What's up, Tommy? Today we have something different compared to the standard 1v1s that we usually cast. A 2v2 on Wolfhetze with two pretty good teams, I must say.
Yes, we've got some very recognizable names here today. We've got, over on the allied side, we have Mr. Guderian and Mr. GRJason. Jason being, if you click on sort of any kind of top-level 2v2 player, he'll normally be on pretty high up on their partner lists. I'm not too well clued up on my knowledge of the 2v2 ladder, but I'm pretty sure he's very near the top of it. Who do we have over on the Axis side?
Yeah, we actually have two WMD members. Predators playing under another name, and we also have Spanky, which we actually had on a couple of episodes ago when he played Aliash on his own map, Bayo. But this time he's playing a 2v2. It's Predator on Wolfhetze instead. So it's going to be fun to see him play again.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's jump into it at the 5-second mark. Unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
It's going to be interesting to see what the US players decides to do. Yeah, we probably should mention it's no mixed teams. It's US versus double Ver. So the US players are opting to go for a mixed start. One WSC for Guderian and Rax for Mr. Jason.
Yeah, and over here on the Axis side, it's, of course, being a double Ver team. There is only one option, at least for this map, and they are going for double Vermont quarters. And we are seeing an MG coming out first from Spanky. MG's being very powerful, particularly on this map because it's so small. I mean, if you look at the size of it, honestly, I think Stursdorf is quite similar in size. It's a very small map. And really all the fighting basically takes place between 2 points that are relatively small actual interest. It's more to do with their position on the map. It's these two middle fuel points here. Or in fact, it's this little trifecta of fuel points, isn't it? That between this middle VP, you have this little triangle.
Yeah, especially the right southern fuel point, because it's such a huge cutoff right there. You know, you can cut your opponents off from from the other side there if they extend far to the right-hand side, the top players. So, you know, that fuel point is very important. And the one on the left-hand side in the center, that's always so contested. Everybody's fighting over that fuel point. But, you know, it's pretty funny on Wolfhetze. There's a couple of high munitions points, but all the fuel points are low points. It's just 5, so you really gotta take control of as many as possible to get a proper income.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be very careful in your teching as well, of course, because once you commit to a tech choice, it's not like on other maps, like, for example, Rails and Metal, where you're going to have a nice big fuel income and you can kind of, you know, you can go for something, and if that doesn't work, you can try something else. It's like you really got to pick your tech choice early on and then really commit to it. And already we're seeing, you know, the fuel is being taken, the allies going for a bit of an odd capping order, very focused around this middle fuel, and only just now beginning to cap this this bottom plus 16 down here.
Yeah, obviously they want to take as fast as possible, I think. And we're actually seeing, was it MGs from both Wehrmacht players and then a bike and a Schwimmwagen.
Schwim combo. Interesting. Yeah. That's not something we've seen for a little while.
It's good for pushing, I think, you know, especially when both players have one MG each. You don't have, like in a 1v1, you only had the one MG. Now you have two MGs and two choices of vehicles to push around with. So I bet that could be extremely annoying. We had a Pio on the left-hand side trying to flank one of the allied MGs, but it did have some engineer backup, which was able to force them off, combined with the two men on the MG that doesn't actually crew the MG itself. The one with the... I guess they have Garans as well. I can't actually remember.
On the crew, yeah, they do. I
think it's Garand, because the Volk MGs have, or the Wehrmacht MGs have the MP40s, but
They
you know,
do,
nerfed
yeah.
MP40s.
Yeah, there's. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same as Pio MP40s, but they're pretty similar.
Yeah, but they're not like Volk MP40s because they're way
no.
better.
Oh, that would be so cool if you had Volk MP40s on the crew. It would
They're
be so
so
overpowered. You could just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
run the MG unpacked all around the place and kill everything. So we have a mortar out as a second unit from Guderian, who's playing. He is the WSC player in this game. He's gone for this 30 cal followed by a mortar. The 30 cal was just used to push away some pioneers, prevent them from capping that middle fuel, and the mortar to follow up against this double MG opening. So very powerful.
I'm not exactly sure which one of the two teams are on top right now, because they're basically just fighting over the center mostly. And at the same time, on the right-hand side, we have rifles and jeep from Jason against a Pio and a Bolt squad from... Who is that? Is that Spanky? Yeah, Spanky's the yellow
Spanky struggling to build his sandbags. He's
really
just
trying.
about got it up. There we go. Second time lucky. Supported by the Schwimmwagen. Schwimmwagen, it's, yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting unit. It's a little bit more expensive. It's more it's more like a full cost, full price unit, like an MG, you know, at 215 manpower. It's not particularly cheap, and it does take a long time to build compared to the bike, so...
But it's so sturdy, and you can reverse with it compared to the bike.
Exactly, and you can reverse with that. And you're not afraid of things like Panzerfaust that the Jeep is afraid of. It can survive, essentially, not indefinitely, but it certainly has a lot longer lifespan than any of the other vehicles.
Yeah, especially compared to the bike. The bike is by far the least survivable because of the padding.
Sniper got found out by the Jeep, and the Jeep's giving chase now. But there's check out that very crafty mine.
There's two mines. So the Jeep's surely gonna hit it if he goes into the base. He's gonna go into the base and actually lose that Jeep on the pursuit of the sniper. Very nicely placed defensive mines. And I also saw on the far right-hand side, Spanky has put down a mine as well on that flanking route there on the far right of the map of Wolfitz. So yeah, I think both players probably expecting, you know, people to chase their snipers around, so they want to protect them at all costs. So mines is a good way to do that.
Both players being quite nicely integrated here. Their lines are totally sort of together. Rifles supporting MGs, supporting mortars, supporting snipers, supporting more rifles again. So it's nice kind of combined arms. And I think the Allies are beginning to... I don't know, they're beginning to take up here on the top left-hand side, but they are getting picked away by now double snipers from Predator. So that's going to be painful. And now with, of course, Spanky sniper down in the south, probably going to need to see some counter snipes from Guderian sniper, which is just milling about.
Yeah, he's just been floating around behind the train and with cover from the two MGs, and he's got his mortar crew there as well, and two rifles from Jason also supporting those units. See, they've also got their own mines. See, Guderian placed 3 mines in a row there just to protect his flank on the left-hand side of the MG. So, you know, if something pursues his sniper, it's going to be the same deal. If the bike or the Schwimmwagen goes for a sniper, they're going to hit a mine, sure.
So we had a bit of a decap here on the plus 16 munitions by the Axis down here. Spanky managed to get the decap off, but it's getting taken back by Jason with his rifles and engineers combo, who is just standing a little bit back with his rifles because I think he's afraid of that MG42, which is just drawing up now.
He's moving over with a Schwimmwagen and MG, so even if the rifles were going to be more aggressive in that engagement and go forward, he could have also pushed it with the Schwimmwagen, so the MG had time to set up. But yeah, it's there now, and this sniper is surely going to start popping away on these rifles. Where is Guderian's sniper? It's still hanging around in the center, and it has duplicated itself. He cloned himself. He now has 2 snipers.
And the engineer that was capping the munitions down here on the bottom right does go down, and Tier 3 has just finished teching from Spanky. Very, very quick on the teching. He's gone for quite a small Tier 1, 2 MGs, a single Volk. So it's interesting. Instead of Volk MG Sniper, he's done a kind of MG Schwimm. Well, it's nothing like really, but he's gone for 2 MGs and 1 Volk, which is just unusual. But I guess it's very map dependent because, as we were saying, this map is so dominated by MGs due to its small size, in particular the MG42.
The 2-axis sniper on the far left-hand side is really going to work. He's forcing all of these rifles away, but he doesn't actually have anything else in the vicinity to start recapping the points outside of his base. So it's still in allied hands, and Guderian is doing fairly good. He hasn't lost any units so far. Both of his initial engineers are still alive as far as I know. He's got his 2 MGs, a mortar, and 2 snipers with the motor pool already constructed, while Jason is still only with his barracks, and he's got a triage in his base as well.
Okay, so barracks and triage, he's possibly gonna just start pumping out the rifles.
Bars,
maybe get some
maybe?
rifle
I don't know.
upgrades. He is upgrading
Yeah.
something from the barracks.
Yeah, let's go. No, I'm not gonna have a look on what it is.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
I'm
it's
betting
probably bars. It's probably
it's
bars.
probably bars. It looks like it's bars because I think grenades upgrade a little bit faster than these are upgrading.
And this
right
would be a weird time to get grenades anyway, so late.
Yeah.
Oh, here come the double snipers, and the axis snipers retreat instantly as soon as they hear the sound of that jeep. So
Yeah, well, he
obviously-
saw it with the bike behind the train station. He was scouting with that for the snipers to take pot shots on the MG, and he knew that jeep was there. So I guess there are no mines that far up. They're all back by his base. So I guess an early retreat is the safest way to get away from there. If the jeep would have gone after him, because there was only that bike to really stop him. And we do have the first M8 out from Guderian, instantly upgrading with its skirts and a top gunner.
So it's been all quiet on the western front. Not a shot has been fired in the last sort of couple of minutes besides a bit of sniper fire. It's kind of
There's
like
the bars.
what I imagine hell meant to be like. But here we go. We've got the M8 coming out now, and the Shrimp is in some pretty dire straits now. It's sturdy, but it's not that sturdy. It can't take an M8 hit directly to the face, not more than once.
Oh, damage ended from the bars. They're trying to focus firing him down when he's trying to drive away, but there are flanking bars as well. That surely goes down. Did that sniper actually get the kill?
Sniper just got
did
the
get
kill.
the kill.
Yeah, and that's the first shot it fired, in fact.
Yeah. Both of the snipers have not taken a single shot on anything. I'm not even sure if they've ever been revealed. I guess they've been revealed because it feels like both of the Wehrmacht players knows that they've been around somewhere.
Well, I think when you know that there's WSC around, you know
Yeah,
that there's
there's gonna be a
inevitably
sniper.
going to be a counter sniper around. It's just how it goes with 2v2s. You've got to be very careful. But that was a great little push there by the Allies. I mean, it was a very nice timing push. They all moved up together, using the M8 to break through with the snipers. Very successfully pushed out. We do have the Panzer Command coming
Double!
up. The double, in fact. Okay, so
It's-
both going tier 1, tier 4. I think they're beginning to feel the repercussions of this tech choice, because obviously, you know, they have lost all this territory and they're getting pushed back quite rapidly by the Allies, who have gone for a much more combined arms kind of strategy.
Yeah, I guess it's some form of a risk-reward choice now. You know, I think they can really reap the benefits of this tier 1 straight to tier 4 if they can just hold on. That's the main problem right now. They need to hold on to actually start producing something out of it before the Allies realize that what they're doing and then just goes all out and circles them in the base. Because right now, this M8 is completely immortal.
I
And
wouldn't say
apart from
completely,
Faust,
because Blitzkrieg has just been selected and Stormtroopers
Storms.
are on the field.
Nice.
They're now floating around the Panzer Command here. But this M8 still, he's going to roll right into the base, so he's going to see that Panzer Command. He may, in fact, even take out some full Axis units here from Spanky. The MG42
Right,
getting
the
very
MG.
low, and it does go down before he even manages to set up. And the Volt goes down. That's not good. That is not good at all. The Stormtroopers finally upgrade their first Panzer Schreck, but not before this M8 has done a double base scout here.
Now
Very,
he's
very
scouted both
useful
bases.
for the Allied side, because now they know what they're going to be going up against. And even worse, neither Axis player actually has the fuel to build anything out of their Panzer Command yet. But here comes the 40 fuel. Here's the 40 fuel. Now they can build an Ostwind. Now they can build an Ostwind, and they are, and Spanky is in fact building an Ostwind, I imagine. Yeah. Here's the
Fred is
really
building
funny
something
thing,
as well.
because of course neither of them spent any fuel up until now, so they will have identical fuel incomes.
Yeah, they've spent. The only difference will be manpower, and I see a
and
sniper went down in
munitions.
the center. One of the Axis sniper actually went down to Guderian's double snipers. One of the snipers now having one infantry killed, while the other has one light vehicle kill. Here comes the bike, however, forces both of Guderian and sniper to retreat, but the bar rifles are there to actually save the snipers on retreat, so he couldn't pursue them. But now the Axis sniper knows this and starts opening up on one of the MGs. And something else hit a mine.
Oh boy, there was an M8 mine placed outside the Panzer Command at the nick of time, though. The Stormtroopers were retreated over that mine to set it off while taking minimal damage.
First Ostwind out now from Predator, which is dealing with this annoying M8 that has scouted out both bases and killed plenty of units. But he's going to get on the road maybe and get out of there. He's very low health, and he's actually going the opposite way. He's going to go right into a mine.
That is the wrong way to go. Here comes the other Ostwind.
There's nothing there to protect him either, because there's no AT guns out from Guderian so far.
They've had a good few minutes to know what's coming out, so they ought to be getting some AT. The M8 tried to lay a mine in front of the Ostwind, but didn't quite get it off. But now both Ostwinds are out there, spreading out to try and maximize their small window that they're going to have of being totally unopposed. Because, you know, having an M8 in your base unopposed is one thing. Having an Ostwind unopposed in your base is entirely a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, not only can it deal with your infantry very rapidly, just like the M8 can do with the Top Gunner. The M8 is a fairly good killing machine when it comes to infantry, but the Ostwind as well can kill, you know, your supply yard, your triage building, whatever he really needs to do. But we do have the first AT gun produced from Guderian with a second one building, and he's also put up his tank depot with the first Hellcat rolling out now. So tables have turned yet again, because I don't think that the Axis have any form of proper AT apart from the Shreks.
The double Shreks, that's it. And if those double snipers get a whiff of them, then it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, there is an AT gun out now as well, so AT gun plus Hellcat. The Allies have got some AT. They are not going to be totally defenseless. Some nice
2 AT guns and armor shows him from Guderian, so he's got field repairs as well for this Hellcat.
That could be very, very nice, and here come the Axis snipers here from Guderian. He could have finished off a whole Pioneer squad there, but I think he just had his snipers on attack move, and instead they picked off one from each squad. The Hellcat took a wrong turn trying to get after this this Ostwind. It's probably going to get away with his life, just about.
I think he saw the mine getting placed, I'm not sure. Or is he still placing the mine? Was it not completed? There's a mine to the right of the Hellcats.
There is
That's
a mine.
Spanky's mine.
Yeah, I think it's completed mine, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he saw it getting placed by the Pioneers, so that's why he didn't want to pursue the Ostwind. He'd have to take a long way around those mines. He's actually going into the center now.
He's being pretty ballsy with this Hellcat. I think he's assuming that there's only Ostwinds on the field.
Well, he's correct right now. He knows the Shreks are there because they killed his M8, or actually at least helped him.
Look at this mine lurp.
Nice
Look at this mine lurp.
But he's gonna hit it! No!
He knew he was going to lose the Ostwind, but at least he's probably going to be able to kill his Hellcat in the process.
Here comes Spanky's Shreks now, however, this Hellcat is in trouble, deep trouble. 1 hit, 2 hit, main gun destroyed with the damage engine. He doesn't have the field bonus.
Where's the field repairs?
He doesn't have enough munitions. 136 with a 32 income. It's going to take another minute before they kick in.
Oh wow, it's infantry off map here on the Wehrmacht quarters. Takes out a good chunk of a Volk squad there.
An MG gun is there as well.
Yeah, it's been there for a little while actually.
We do have one barred rifle just floating around outside of Spanky's base, and right now it's looking very, very bad for the Wehrmacht team here. WMD Predators and Spanky is completely behind their opponents, which are now just rolling out tanks and AT guns.
And judging by the chat, the morale from the Axis side is getting pretty low. I think they must be on the verge of quitting the game here after having lost that Ostwind to the Hellcat, because now they know that there's tank depot out. So now they're going to have to deal with not just infantry and AT guns, but tanks as well. It's a very combined arms force from the Allies, and there's no easy solution out of it. But Spanky is floating an awful lot. I should also mention Spanky has just one base building left now, and that's his Panzer Command. So he can't actually build. If he wants infantry, he has no choice but to build. Well, he can bring out stormtroopers, or he can get himself some KCH. But no efficiency on any units yet, and he's still floating up to 800 manpower now and almost 110 fuel, so he could be waiting for a Panther.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, waiting for a Panther to at least counter the TD units from Guderian. But he still has the AT guns to worry about them, so I'm not exactly sure what he needs to do. With no Wehrmacht quarters, he can't build snipers to counter them, and he doesn't have tier 2 to build, you know, any form of indirect fire, neither the Nebel from tier 3 or the mortars from tier 2. And both of Guderian's sniper are still alive, I say, when he just gets counter-sniped.
Very nice. I can see Spanky was just waiting for that. The Volks look like a very nice little bit of bait, and Guderian loses one of his snipers. That's a nice win for him. And we do have a Panther building that's going to be supported by a Panzer IV and an Ostwind that was still alive from the very beginning.
2 KCH on the left-hand side from Predator against this bar rifle. He pops bar suppression, but it's not going to be enough when there's 2 KCH squads around, I think. Oh, he gets the suppression off.
They're getting suppressed one after the other. Oh, no.
Oh, he gets pinned. That was a quick pin.
That was a very quick pin, considering
One of the fastest I've
KCH.
ever seen. Surely going to make him... Yeah, he's forced to retreat after getting pinned so quickly. Stormtroopers and Volks moving out of the base now. Allied sniper opening up again. Guderian knows that Spanky is still one sniper floating around somewhere outside of his base. But look at the map and look where the front lines are. The Wehrmacht is basically just fighting out of their bases while the Allies are sitting pretty in the center with all the resources on the map almost.
And building up quite the Hellcat armada too. Guderian looks like he's going to be making a big play from the middle now. This could come at a bad time because the... Oh no, the Panther! It's finished, but he doesn't have the population for it.
Oh!
But finally, here it comes. No, here it comes. He must have lost some units to get it out. Because here it is, and what a bad time!
What a squish from one of the Hellcats, squishing 2 Stormtroopers. But the Panther is taking quite a beating, and there's an off-map on Spanky's Panzer Command. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to survive, most likely as the Hellcats can't really stick around. Field repairs poked, but I'm not sure it's going to help against this Panther. Wow, main gun destroyed. That Panther was not long left.
Wow, he's going to... That Panzer IV was a heck of a wingman for that Panther. The Panther crew needs to be getting out and giving those guys a hug, because they've just saved his ass.
KCH center decrewed an AT gun. He was going after the mortar as well, but too much flag taken from one of the MGs.
Yeah, some nice usage of KCH there, because of course KCH, they, besides bar suppression, they can't really get suppressed. They can charge down a 30 cal without too many problems, but still the lack of veterancy is going to hurt. Storms,
there's a Shrek outside of Spanky's HQ, and there's craters, so I guess
they must have bit
the off-map on the Panzer Command must have scattered just outside of the HQ after we retreated them, losing both of them.
Oh dear, that's not good. That is not good.
Here comes the KCH spam from Predator, apparently. I guess they're out of fuel. They have a...
Yeah, they're totally down on fuel now. They've got a single +5 fuel, which they actually OP'd a little while ago.
I got destroyed by some bar rifles. I caught that before.
There's gonna be
on it before.
Not before
These KCH needs to do a lot of work for the Axis army right now if they want to break out of their bases, because right now they're just sitting there, not really. It's not really possible for them to do anything else.
And they need to do that work without losing any members, really, because as soon as they start losing men, we're going to be seeing lots of Vet 3 rifles. We're going to seeing lots of Vet 3 snipers. And we all know what that means. That's going to mean game over, essentially, for the Axis, which is totally unvetted at this point.
Yeah, Vet 1 infantry from Predator, actually, on all of his 4 KCH squads, which are now moving out almost in one blob. There's 9 KCH guys just running next to each other, and another 3 coming up just behind.
Jesus Christ.
And they have
Oh no, but there's a stolen MP42. Now, that will suppress KCH.
There's one. He's gonna split him up. Very nicely marked from Predator. He might get around. Snipers are trying to work at it, but as we know, they're wearing all of these bulletproof vests and gas tanks inside of their jackets.
You know, there's overlapping MGs here, and they can't cross a negative cover road. Heroic armor allows them to dodge those sniper shots. And here comes the
a single casualty. Maybe one.
Yeah, I think most of those KCH survive. I mean, you got to hand it to them. KCH are damn survivable. But, I mean, you know, it's a triple VP cap right now on the Axis. The Allies, you know, just have way superior armies right now. You know, even after the loss of several Hellcats, they're still looking in very good shape. And now with an on-map 105, it's going to be able to keep the pressure up.
Sure, what he's firing on. Was it firing on the west wing or something?
On the, I don't know. He's firing on that fuel point, I think.
On the fuel point, oh. Maybe something was capping it, because it's decapped right now.
So here come the Stormtroopers.
The one guy who didn't get the training in camouflage properly. The other 3 guys are camouflage, but his buddy is just like, no one gave me any camouflage.
Oh, it's going to be a bundle nade. The problem with this kind of, you know, Stormtrooper and KCH armies, every unit when it dies is going to give out so much veterancy.
And as I've said in previous 2v2 games, the action is just non-stop, seriously. That's the main difference, you know. There is downtime with repairing vehicles, etc., but there's so many units because it's 4 players, so there's always something fighting somewhere on the map. We do have the KCH moving out again, also KCH from Spanky moving out onto the center. AT gun gets decrewed, the Hellcat's gonna go for a squish most likely, just to try and stop them. And I didn't know you could go up where the KCH just went. What the hell? They just went over the edge there.
The snipers are trying to escape, and he's using the snipers well against the KCH. He's actually doing the one thing that you would not do against any other unit, which is have both snipers fire on the same individual infantryman at the same time, because you need both shots to go in order to get a unit kill.
Yeah, sometimes even 2 isn't enough if the 2 snipers fire at the individual KCH members. If they fire on the same guy...
If they fire just slightly apart as well, then the health regen can give them the little boost they need to actually survive. 2
just
full
one
sniper
tick.
shots.
1 tick is all that's needed. One HP tick on the regen, and they won't get killed by 2 shots. But we do have some Volk trying to decap the center VP, but gets sniped off with artillery raining down on the dead bodies afterwards. That was overkill. We did, I think, 1 rifle, barred rifle, actually went down to 2 KCH on the left-hand side from Predators. And so, you know, a small victory trying to whittle down the Allied army, which I think still outnumbers the Axis army, but the Axis does have one of the best heavy tanks, you know, non-doctrinal, the Panther on the field, and they also have his wingman, the P4, and an Ostwind still remaining, and
they
lots
are
of
beginning
KCH.
to play quite aggressively, actually, and suddenly it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of AT anymore. You know, there was 1 AT gun that was very aggressively placed, got decrewed by KCH after popping up a couple of very nice AP rounds against the Panther. Took it down very low, but it's back to full health virtually again, so... And now the 30 cal emplacement goes down, and we've got this total armada mix of tanks here. We've got the P4, the Panther, and the Ostwind, and loads of KCH coming in.
And Pyo's combat repairing as well, on the front lines.
Oh wow, they are getting suppressed though, eventually. And there's Vet 1
Vet
from
1
30
MP.
cal.
You don't see that every day.
Oh wow, whoa wow.
Vet 2! Oh, he's gonna kill these guys, he needs to retreat. He did get around them, but down to 1 man each. Not worth to stick around. Here comes 2 Hellcats and lots of bar rifle, lots of infantry from Jason against the Panther and the rest of the Axis vehicles.
KCH getting sniped out as they try and cap that middle VP here.
Pershing unlocked from
more
Guderian.
KCH. Oh no, the Vet 2 30 cal goes down. That's a sad day for 30 cals.
Wow, the KCH just hit a mine and nothing happened. Like literally nothing happened. Double fouls from the KCH.
Wow,
that destroy and immobilize
that
the
Hellcat
Hellcats.
has had every single crit you can throw at it.
Oh, he gets killed by a KCH squad with forced retreat, forcing the 2 barred rifles away, forcing the snipers to run away when they have no backup.
Oh,
KCH
no, they're getting
trying to pursue them.
They were getting blocked by their own teammates' AT gun, but I think they might actually escape here.
Actually might escape. I don't think the AT gun will escape though. It's gonna give it focus fire by the KCH right now, I think.
This is some great usage of KCH. You know, besides the little low charge into the 30 cal, he's been using them to great effect, you know, to run in, totally negating all nearby suppression, decrewing all the weapons, and then leaving huge manpower deficits for Jason as he has to go out and recrew everything.
Yeah, Guderian is not able to recrew anything as he doesn't have any barracks. But we do have the big dog out from the Allied armor now, the Pershing, the M26 Pershing from Guderian is on the field, combined with these 2 Hellcats, and the 3rd one got fausted to death, but otherwise he had 4 tanks now. So he's gonna probably make a move for the Axis vehicles on the right-hand side now.
I'm foreseeing a very good day for Pershing today when he takes on all these unvetted tanks, because, you know, unvetted Pershing versus unvetted Panther, the Pershing should win, especially with field repairs.
Yeah, easily with field repairs, and also if he gets the 76mm upgrade and gives him HVAP. But I don't think he will do that, because he's just pumping out Hellcats and he has no Shermans. So.
And he has to fight off KCH as well, so all that field repairs, I don't know if that's going to kick in for long enough. And no, it's not going to save him. From
that Panther is so boned though. Yeah,
beautiful.
Gets the killing shot with the Persian, which is great, giving him some veterancy. But it did hit a mine, and his engine is damaged, and he's got this shreked up Stormies shooting at him. Not sure if he's going to get out of dodge. Another Panther now, however, out from Spanky.
That other P4 went down to the Hellcat as it circled straight around. This Pershing's having a tough time though.
KCH push. If you keep looking at the Pershing, I'm looking at only KCH in the center out from Predators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squads. 1 retreated. There's lots of bar suppression going on, and the MGs are trying to suppress them, but they're all vet 3 right now. I guess they got enough fuel to at least upgrade their KCH to become even better killing machines that they already are.
All 3 Hellcats or all 2 Hellcats, in fact, went down in the north to those Panther and Panzer IV tanks up in the north. The second Panther that rolled out from Spanky got very damaged, but did manage to just about survive.
Another field repair pop from Guderian, I guess.
Oh no! It's a dropped Shrek! It's a dropped Shrek. That's exactly what GRJason wanted to see there. It's a free Panzer Shrek for his rifle squad. And the Pershing got out of there with Vet 2 after finishing off an entire Shrek'd up Stormtrooper squad. And look at these KCH, they're just cleaning up, aren't they?
Look at outside the Allied base. There, you know, there were AT guns, there were a 30 cal in the train station, you know, an AT gun to the right of the train station, another MG on the ground. Everything decrewed by these marauding KCH from Predators. They're just like everywhere. And apparently he's close to KT as well.
Ooh, a KT plus Tiger plus all this tier 4 armor. I mean, I just
don't know. The KCH
know.
as infantry support. That is beastly.
This could be a really, really nasty unit combination from the Axis. But all these AT guns, they're just out to get decrewed. I mean, the Pershing can't shoot fast enough to decrew all of them.
No, not when there's so many KCH around. The Pershing can take out 1 or 2 guys every shot if he hits, and he won't hit every time. So when they come out in, you know, in the formation they're doing right now, Predators moving out in force with, you know, 3 squads very close together, they can just run down everything.
Oh, another beautiful decrew right there. All these weapons lying around. Jason's army is just got to be under so much manpower pressure here. Guderian, he's still got control of his double sniper team, which he's kind of rebuilt. But now these AT guns are getting finally destroyed by the Oswind and Panthers here. Still no veterancy, but it doesn't matter because here comes the King Tiger.
Oh, there it is. Very nice.
And look at all these tank carcasses as well.
The
all these tank carcasses are getting harvested for munitions by the Axis. I mean, look at them. There's a like 3 Hellcat carcasses, there's a Panther carcass, a P4 carcass. That's got to be about 100 munitions right there total.
These poor unvetted KCH were going for the center VP to try and stop the VP drain, but they ran into 30 cal and some barbed rifles, which actually gained some veterancy. He is now planting mines at the middle VP as well to protect it even more. They want to win, you know, they want to win by VPs as soon as possible because, you know, they're probably suspecting KT as they've seen Prop War before.
Yeah, they got to be worried about facing an eventually unstoppable force of vetted troops. I mean, you know, all these rifles, normally at this stage in the game when you're fighting Vet 3 KCH, you'd have Vet 3 rifles and it wouldn't matter. But because the KCH usage has been so good, he's really denied any veterancy from the rifles. So they're facing Vet 0 rifles with Vet 3 KCH, and it's a clear win for the KCH there. And there's a Vet 3 Pershing.
But the KT is just behind his 2 pals, the Ostwind and the Panther. We do have a Sherman out from Guderian as well. But I don't know, they need to recruit more than the 1 AT gun they have in possession right now to combat all of these armor from the Axis.
Oh, and that's an upgun Sherman. That means the Pershing is an HVAP Pershing.
HVAP.
Vet 3 HVAP Pershing. It won't beat the KT, not even close, but it will be able to do quite decent damage to it, I imagine.
Look at the snipers, they're surrounded by KCH, they're everywhere. There's just KCH on all sides of the building almost. The Pershing is trying to do a lot of work, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. He needs to retreat one of the KCH squads. He does retreat it. He's down to 2 men, very low health, but he's
Oh, look at that forced retreat. It gets rid of all the infantry support there. One of the snipers goes down. The other one is surely going to get focus fired down here.
Oh, running across negative cover, and he dies!
The Pershing rolls over his carcass.
He was already dead, it's okay.
Oh my god, this just blitzkrieg push here. The Allies, they're just getting wiped off the field.
Everything's dying, everything. With the KC-8 combined with the armor, they're fighting the Pershing, no problem. They're keeping him in check, and all of the Allied infantry and the support weapon can't handle all of these KC-8 squads. They're everywhere. Nice grenade. Very nicely timed grenade.
Pershing's got field repairs now, but it's not enough to keep up with that hefty damage. Finally, the Shrek rifle is out again. The decrewed rifles got just, I mean, this is just a brutality right now. All these rifles are getting absolutely brutalized.
The KCH is in the base.
Come out of the base. He's totally pushing right through. I mean, this is a real all or nothing push right here. You know, the Axis have very little troops left, but so do the Allies. It's really just a case of who's going to run out first. They're beginning to plug away on the barracks now. The KT gets a damaged engine, but I'm sure he doesn't really care. It's slow enough already. Rangers are called in, but I don't think that's going to even scratch the KT.
Another force.
Oh, and look at it! It's another. It's a tiger.
Nice
bird,
hits on the KT and some bazooka rear armor hits on the KT, but it wasn't enough to give it a nastier crit and a damaged ending that the mine inflicted on it. And this barracks building from Jason is now getting destroyed by the Osprey and the Panther. He's moving out with his rifles over and over again, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, especially not as I see on the minimap. Predator's little KCH army is moving out of the base, fully reinforced again. 4 squads in one formation moving out now. It's probably going to be too much when they actually reach the front line outside of the Allied base.
Finally, an AT gun, a brand new one, has been produced. It got plugging away at the Tiger and did some decent damage. The KT's got taken some decent damage. The Panther's got a damaged engine. The Axis Armada is slowed down, at least temporarily. But the Allies really need to collect themselves.
The AT gun just accidentally hit the decrewed howitzer. I think destroyed it.
Oh, check this out. It's a low health Vet 3 Pershing going up against the Vet 1 Panther, and look at the enormous damage it does.
Here comes the KCH.
Plus HVAP. Oh no.
KCH in the midst of the Allied units, just reaping everything, just ripping them to shreds. They're everywhere. He did give away quite a lot of veterancy now with these 2 last pushes, as he's lost lots of KCH in these engagements to the rifles. But he's actually able to get him out of there all alive, which is good.
Oh wow, the KT, I mean that Hellcat just narrowly avoided getting sniped by the Tiger. There needs to be a serious repair party out though from the Axis if they're going to be able to get their units back in shape, because they've got a lot of damaged Axis armor.
What happened? I'm not even sure what just happened. What happened the past like 8 minutes or something? Everything for the Allies just went to crap. It just like, what just happened?
They just blitzed.
How is that? Yeah, super blitz. Seriously.
Jason's still got a big army, including Vet 3 rifles. I should add. It's not the squad with the Shrek, unfortunately. That would be enough to basically win the game on their own. But he does have an AT gun, and there is still the Vet 3 Pershing, which is not to be messed with. As we see there, 1 shell.
Big hit.
Doing enormous damage.
The KT is almost fully repaired again, and I do see there. Yeah, there's the Tiger 1 from Spanky is also being repaired by 2 Pyos, so it's going to be up in full health in just a little while.
KT is getting pushed back, but there's nothing to really go and... Oh, there's a firestorm! There's a firestorm placed down, and he kills the Pershing!
And a Hellcat, I think, and almost an entire engineer squad. The Vet 3 Pershing down to an off-map. That was the strongest form of AT they had was that Pershing. With that dead,
that was holding together all the horrible pieces of the Allied army, and the Vet 3 rifle goes down as well. Gets taken out by an Oswald with now 22 kills in the middle. Here comes the KCH army once again. There is really not enough to stop this now without Vet 3 rifles. There are Vet 2 rifles, but not Vet 3 rifles. There's no 30 cal anymore. There is a brand new Pershing, but it's not going to be enough when it's unvetted.
No, not against all of these Axis units.
He does get one good shot off against the KCH, but it still doesn't kill any men.
Squish him, Hellcat.
Oh, that killed some men though. 2 guys go down.
Tried to kill them on retreat, but he doesn't get lucky and get the killing shot on the retreating KCH. The Tiger is back in action, fully repaired. The KT
that's going to be a depressing sight for the Allies, because they haven't been able to repair with as much efficiency as the Axis have. They've really managed to repair their tanks quite quickly. The Panther, which was so low health, down to a destroyed main gun, I think, was almost...
Firestorm on the AT gun.
Oh boy.
Instant decrew.
Doing not bad damage to that Pershing either. Where's the KT? KT's still getting repaired, still damaged.
Chilling out on the right hand side. We did have engineers trying to sneak on the right hand side of the map, probably going for the VP, because the Axis team are down to 96 VPs. If the Allies are going to win this, they need to win by VP, because right now they're just caught in their base.
Yeah, that's the only way they can win right now is just to apply VP pressure, but they can barely get out of their base before getting forced back by all this Axis armor. And now there's the Tiger on here as well. They've got an enormous amount of anti-infantry. Blitzkrieg now popped as well from Spanky. So he's going to be firing even faster, although with less accuracy.
Look at that Panther popping away at the Pershing. That was awesome. And here comes the Tiger as well. Where are they going? Are they just so out for blood on the Pershing? Yeah, instantly focus fires down the Pershing, trying to kill it before it can get more veterans. It's up to vet 1 with 6 KCH kills, I presume. But I think getting focus fire by all of this armor is actually going to kill the Pershing. Predator likes the looks of that.
That KT's almost back in action.
When that's back, it's gonna be unstoppable. There's not enough AT guns, and there's a GG actually. I think the allied team knows that as well. They know the KT is not dead. They know they haven't seen it for a while. It's surely somewhere just repairing. And Guderian actually throws in the tower, and so does the teammate Jason.
Oh boy.
That was basically the whole game right there. I think they were outgunned now in the end, losing the second Pershing, all of the support.
Yeah.
Look at all the AT guns and MGs and stuff everywhere on the map, and they couldn't get to them because it was all guarded by Axis armor and KCH armadas.
It was a fight to try and get to it, wasn't it? I mean, they were really trying to push out, you know, every couple of minutes there'd be another human wave, just like, get to the AT guns!
Yeah, they needed it.
But they just couldn't get there in time. I mean, you know, I just wonder what was going through their head when they saw 2 tier 4 buildings going up at the same time. Probably thought, it's fine, get a couple of AT guns, all they have is Oslins, they got no AT, yeah, Hellcat will finish them off, but they made a couple of mistakes, and then it really came back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, somehow the Axis team managed to pull themselves together and, you know, extend out of their base, because in the early and mid game, it was, you know, the opposite roles. The Axis side was basically just sitting in their bases waiting for their tier 4 and the fuel to roll in so they could actually build something out of it, because apart from that, they were fighting, you know, tier 3 units and snipers, WSC units, and lots of barred rifles with only tier 1 units. They had no grenadiers as like mainline infantry to soak up.
Not even a brief stop off at tier 2. There wasn't even like a, you know, just I'll just get a pack and a gren here. It was just nope, just straight to tier 4.
Yeah, so they were kind of between a rock and a hard place for a while when the allies were just knocking on their front door wanting to come in for like a tea party or something. But they refused to leave, and eventually they managed to just grind the allied army into the dust.
Yeah, they just it was some great KCH usage, I think, really got them back into it. I mean, of course, you know, there was the late game blitz into the base, but I think it was the KCH that really got them back into it. I'm interested about the kills those units had. It's like 15, 12, 16, 26 on one of them. I mean, you know, they were just sort of, you've got 30 kills, I've got KCH. I don't get suppressed.
At least not in a little while. It takes like 6,000 bursts from 3 30 cals to suppress the Vet 3 KCH. It takes forever, you know, unless it's any negative cover.
Funny.
Yeah, it's not the best suppression tool ever. They even had stolen MG42. That was basically the only thing that, you know, could properly suppress the KCH in the beginning.
I thought this might be one game where we might get to see a Vet 3 30 cal from killing so many KCH, but alas,
was Vet 2?
It was Vet 2, and very quick.
It's close.
Vet 2. It got something like 9 KCH kills, so...
Yeah, it was like Vet 0, kill 1 KCH, Vet 1. Kill another KCH, Vet 2. It's like, what? With 1 kill? That was impressive.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was a good game. A very, very, you know, action-heavy 2v2. They just went at each other, like, completely threw everything onto each other's team. And, you know, Axis just managed to pull it back in the end.
And a great job they did, too. So thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. Do leave a comment and like it and favorite it if you can. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys.